Folks, in my 20 years in the league, I've never seen anything like this. A rumor so incendiary, so shrouded in secrecy, that it's causing shockwaves through the NFL's inner sanctum. This isn't just another whisper from the back channels. This is the kind of intel that, if proven true, could reshape the entire landscape of the 2026 offseason, and perhaps even the future of the Baltimore Ravens. And let me tell you, what's happening right now is beyond anything we could have anticipated. I've spoken to sources so deep within the league that their names could fill a roster, and what I'm about to reveal is just the tip of the iceberg. But mark my words, something monumental is unfolding behind closed doors, something capable of turning the Ravens from a solid playoff contender into a true Super Bowl favorite. You're going to want to stay locked in, because this story is about to get explosive. Now, before I spill the full truth, hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you're ready for the truth that nobody else dares to tell. Smash that bell icon, because what I'm revealing today isn't just news, it's exclusivity. Only a handful of insiders have real intel right now, and you're about to get the full inside scoop. Those who are inside the bubble, they already know. Do you want to be one of them? Then let's go deep. Imagine a scenario so complex, so meticulously engineered, that it involves secret negotiations, clandestine meetings, and a player that is literally at the center of a seismic shift in NFL power dynamics. That player, Bryan Bresee. The rising star defensive tackle out of Clemson, a kid with the kind of talent and upside that NFL scouts salivated over from the moment he entered the league. But this isn't about just another promising rookie. This is about a player who, if the rumors are true, could be heading to Baltimore in a blockbuster trade that could redefine the AFC. Let's back up a second and get the full picture. Because what's happening behind the scenes is more than just a simple player swap. It's a chess move so bold that it's leaving NFL insiders in disbelief, and the Ravens are at the center of this storm. First, let's analyze Bryan Bresee's current status. As of January 29, 2026, he's still with the New Orleans Saints, but the whispers are growing louder. Why? Because his development has hit a crossroads. The knee injury in Week 16 of 2025 cast a cloud over his future. Prior to that, he was on a trajectory, so promising it was setting NFL records for a player of his age and experience. Fresh out of Clemson, Bresee was seen as a once-in-a-generation talent, explosive off the snap, versatile enough to line up inside or as a defensive end, with a rare blend of power and agility. His pass-rushing metrics for 2024 were eye-popping. 11 starts, 4.5 sacks, a forced fumble returned for a touchdown, and a PFF grade that was top 15 among all defensive tackles. Yet, 2025 brought injury setbacks. Knee issues and back pain hampered his ability to produce consistently. Still, scouts remain high. Talent like his doesn't fade overnight, it's just waiting for the right environment. And that's where the Ravens come into play. Now, as for Baltimore, they're in a unique spot right now. New head coach Jesse Minter has inherited a roster with one glaring weakness: interior pass rush, especially after losing some key veterans in free agency last year. The defense, historically a strength, has underperformed in recent seasons, primarily due to lack of disruptive presence in the middle. That's a big reason why the Ravens are reportedly eyeing the next move, a move that could take their defense from good to elite, and perhaps give Lamar Jackson the extra piece he's been craving to make that championship push. But why Bryan Bresee? Why now? Because, folks, the Ravens see something that most of us have only glimpsed in flashes, a player who, if properly developed and properly utilized, can be a game changer. Think about it. Baltimore's defensive scheme under Minter emphasizes multiple front looks, aggressive gap shooting, and relentless interior pressure. Bresee fits that mold perfectly. His explosiveness at the snap, combined with his relentless motor, makes him a nightmare for interior linemen. And the advanced metrics? They tell the story. According to PFF, even after his injury-riddled season, Bresee boasted a pass rush productivity score well into the top 20 among interior defensive linemen. His burst, combined with his hand technique and high motor, makes him one of the most promising prospects in the entire NFL. And here's the kicker. Sources close to the Ravens tell me that internal discussions have been ongoing since mid-2025. The coaching staff, the front office, everyone recognizes that Bresee's ceiling is unicorn-like. He's a prototypical gut-wrencher inside, capable of collapsing the pocket from the A or B gap and creating chaos that opens up lanes for linebackers like Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. They see him as a cornerstone piece for their 2026, even 2027 Super Bowl run. Now let's get into the mechanics of how this could even happen. Money, logistics, timing, I've cracked the codes. First off, the Saints are in a tricky cap situation. They need to clear some cap room, and Bressy's injury has made his perceived value fluctuate. The Ravens, on the other hand, have been quietly building cap space, ready for a splash move. Baltimore has assets, draft picks, depth players, maybe even a young linebacker or a second-rounder that could entice New Orleans. With the Saints eyeing their own rebuild and the potential for a high pick in this year's draft, a trade package involving a combination of picks and players becomes not just feasible, but strategically smart for both sides. Picture this: the Ravens sending a first-round pick in this year's draft, perhaps a future second, and a developmental player or young veteran. In return, they get the rights to Bressy, a player who, if healthy and motivated, can be a franchise staple for years. For the Saints, it's about acquiring a proven young talent who, with the right coaching, can elevate their defense immediately. Now, what about the salary cap gymnastics? Bressy's rookie deal is fully guaranteed at roughly $12.26 million over 4 years, with a fifth-year option looming at around $13 million. The Ravens, having some cap room, can absorb this contract with relative ease, especially given their current flexibility. And don't forget, they're known for their savvy in restructuring contracts, creating cap space on the fly. All signs point to a scenario where they could absorb Bressy's deal as part of a larger deal, perhaps even including a player or two to sweeten the pot. But let's not just talk about mechanics, let's talk about what this move could mean. Imagine Bressy in the purple and black, lining up alongside Justin Majebuik and Kyle Van Noy. That interior rotation, it would become downright terrifying. Opposing quarterbacks would have nightmares trying to navigate this front, especially with an aggressive, scheme-diverse defense orchestrated by Jesse Minter. The Ravens would instantly elevate their pass rush, making life hell for AFC quarterbacks, especially Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Mac Jones. And it doesn't stop there. The ripple effects could be immense. With Bressy disrupting the pocket from the inside, the secondary, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, could feast on more turnovers. The run defense, already solid, would become even more impenetrable. This isn't just about filling a need, it's about shifting the balance of power in the AFC. Now, cryptic as it sounds, the real question is, why would the Saints even entertain this? The answer is simple: cap relief, draft capital, and strategic rebuilding. They're still evaluating Bressy's health post-injury, and if they see a risk that could jeopardize his development or contractual negotiations, they might be tempted to pull the trigger. Plus, with the 2026 NFL draft approaching, teams are already debating which prospects will slide or rise, and the Saints could leverage the trade to accelerate their rebuild. For Baltimore, the gamble is massive but calculated. They're betting on their coaching staff's ability to unlock Bressy's full potential, a talent evaluation move akin to the history of NFL greats like Aaron Donald or Fletcher Cox, who were once viewed as injury risks early on but became franchise legends. And trust me, the league buzz is there. Whispered conversations, clandestine negotiations, and even some subtle hints from league insiders suggest that this isn't just a pipe dream. It's a carefully orchestrated masterstroke in the making, designed to shake the very foundation of the AFC landscape. Now let me paint you a picture of what happens next. The NFL offseason is a roller coaster: trades, signings, surprises. But this Bressy to Baltimore scenario, it's on a different level. It's the kind of bold move that only the smartest GM, Eric DeCosta, would pull off. It's the move that says, we're not just here to compete, we're here to dominate. And with the Ravens' rich history of finding hidden gems, developing defensive stars, and making bold trades, this story might just write itself. But hold on, because the implications extend even further. If this trade goes through, expect it to send shockwaves through the league. Rivals will panic. Players will be watching anxiously as the Ravens cement their new defensive identity. The AFC suddenly becomes a lot more intimidating. And Bressy, he's the wild card, the missing piece that could turn Baltimore into a Super Bowl contender as early as 2026. So what's the final verdict? I've analyzed tape, scouted insiders, decoded cap sheets, and considered the strategic chess game. And my gut tells me this is one of those rare moments in NFL history where everything aligns perfectly. The pieces are in place, the market is ripe, the players are eager. And Baltimore, they're about to make a move so bold, so audacious, that the league will be talking about it for decades. Keep your eyes peeled over the coming weeks, because the next chapter in this saga could be written any day now. And when the dust settles, one thing will be clear. Brian Bressie might just be the next great Ravens legend, but only if this move happens. And trust me, folks, it's going to be epic. Stay tuned.